Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Robin Humphreys, toko ingoa, ko otutahi aho. It's great to be with you this morning. A little jump start here for all of us to make sure we're all awake. It's good. We all need it. Although my 6-year-old and 2.5-year-old definitely made sure that was happening this morning. As part of the mission resourcing team, which you've already heard about, that we're all part of, as well as other entities that are not here, the Presbyterian Children and Families Ministry exists to advocate, resource, and lead those who are working with and leading children and their families.
You need to click.
Oh, I've got it.
You've got
it. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's right.
There we go. That's us. Our vision, we exist and we see communities of faith inspired to share God's big story by engaging authentically with children and families, children and their families. We see that an authentic engagement as we gather for worship or opportunities for education and nurture within our faith. And you might be saying, well, how do church schools and PCFM overlap? And that was my question too. But of course, it's with the families and with the children, isn't it? As we seek to nurture the God-given potential in each child, and a big part of that is supporting children and their families. We know that parents are the primary faith teachers, mentors, and role models for their children, with the church as a reinforcement. We could even say with church schools as a reinforcement, not replacement of the parents' duties. Even in our home, there is a moment before dinner that we all gather and we light the Christ candle and we remember that Jesus is the light of the world, a light that no darkness can put out. And even my 2.5-year-old helps me remember that in many different ways. And I think our wonderful singer this morning reminds us of that, just how darkness can be dispelled by the light of Christ, which hopefully we're nurturing not only in our churches, in our classrooms, in our schools, in our homes, all of those places. And we hear from Robert Wusnow that faith is formed through embedded practices, which I think we all agree with, specific deliberate activities that are firmly intertwined with the daily habits of family routines. And I imagine that that is also seen within a school setting, as well as in a home setting, as well as in a church setting. If our focus and our hope is to nurture that God-given potential in these children, we're all part of that, as well as their families. And so nurturing that and supporting that within the parents that we come in contact with, in helping to support the holy work that they're doing at home is quite integral to the nurture of these young children that then graduate eventually. For quite a few years, Presbyterian Children and Families Ministry has been a part of a partnership with Presbyterian Support in helping to, with an initiative called Praying for Children. And this happens each year, kind of around this time of the year. I've handed out a bookmark, so if you haven't found it, I saw somebody hold it up first. I wish I had a chocolate fish. There's some bookmarks at your table that help you understand what this week's all about. We specifically planned it so that it would be falling after this conference, the 22nd through 28th of August. And so we worked together to create this week. We have a kit day of resources that include a PowerPoint as well as some activities activities that could be used in a church setting, in a school setting, in a home setting. So we try and bring it across the board so that it can be accessible and helpful in that. We're looking this year at at 7 qualities of children or young people: wonder, giving attention, innocence, curiosity, playfulness, ongoing questions, and trust. And in each of those days, there's a particular prompt for prayer, and if you see on the back there, you can scan the code and find the resources at that blog site. So there'll be quite a few things there if that is of interest to you, and you all represent very different places and capacities within the church schools, which I don't know all about, but hopefully I'll learn more about. Then this may be of interest to you. But what it is a reminder for us to become like children again, and to remember the wonder, and to remember the ongoing questions. I'm in the midst of that as a mom with my 2 little ones, and it is amazing what questions they ask, and that encourages that continued curiosity within me, and wonder at what God has made and done in this world that I'm continually learning about. And I think children and young people help us to really take a look at that, to consider, and to be impacted and affected by that. Just the other day, I got a wonderful reminder of the impact of teachers on students. I was a former student in the United States, and one of my first children that I had as a student, who I helped teach how to read, she just had a child the other day, and so I thought, well, I feel a little old, but these things happen, and we can join in that joy within these children that we teach, that we nurture, and we can celebrate that together. And so we're here to continue, and I look forward to understanding more of what you do as we move into continued partnership, and it's good to be here today, and I really appreciate your patience with us as we're sorting out our technology. So that concludes my time up here. I will re-welcome Phil, maybe? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah. Okay.
So if you have any questions about the Praying for Week in particular, or any other things, I'd love to meet as many of you as I can during morning tea today. Thanks so much.
You don't want to take